As live connection. Y'all already know what it is. It's morning time. About to go in here and get this workout in. It's also Valentine's Day. Uh, I personally don't celebrate Valentine's Day. That's just me. Made it very clear that I used to, but I don't. I don't believe in obligatory love. I believe in unconditional love. So I tend to shun away from Valentine's Day. There's nothing worse to me than seeing a bunch of men line up at a supermarket at the last minute to get flowers. Now, that does not mean I don't respect it, but when I know that a man is last minute on doing something like that and they had time, I don't know. Some people call it say it's a cop out, but that ain't. That's just always been that way. I hate obligatory love. I hate that. I hate obligatory. I don't know. Something about Valentine's Day rubs me the wrong way. It almost is like they're trying to commercialize love and pressure you into showing love a certain traditional way. I show my love 364 days a year, but on that 365th, which is today, anyway, y'all know how this goes. Um, I'm mixing up the pre-workout now. I'm about to head to the gym here in a minute. I'm feeling really good, man. I looked at my subscriber count, man, and we dropped another 100 plus, man, and I'm feeling really good about it. I don't know why. It's almost like a cleansing. It's like I'm shedding anybody that resonated with the old me, you know. And I had a really good conversation with somebody that disagreed with one of my last videos, like big time. He disagreed with my last video, and we got into some really good conversation. Just kind of touched on the science and stuff. I think I'll go a little bit deeper into some of those things I shared in the last video, talking about vibration and what that means, you know. Um, anyway, let me go ahead and mix this up, man. Y'all are mighty quiet this morning. If you're here and you're watching, I need a like, a comment, or something. Just so I don't get in the habit of being crazy talking to myself. But really though, sometimes the number count of people that's watching, sometimes that's wrong. So that's why I'll typically ask for a comment or a like, um, just to make sure it's really getting through to folks. Um, Let a brother know. I'm about to go ahead and run. I think I'm gonna run about. Well, all right, cool. We got one like. That's all I needed. I just need to make sure people are getting, are seeing, and hearing. Um, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna try to run. How many miles y'all think I should run today? How many miles y'all think I should run today? I've been running consistently 1.5 to 2 miles at the end of every workout session, and then I'll go to the sauna for about 10 minutes. I think today I'm gonna try to do 15, 20. But I gotta be laser focused with this workout. It's funny because my workout now, like I spend like 20 to 30 minutes on actual weightlifting, and then I prioritize running and cardio. King D said 3. That's actually what I had in my mind. That's actually what I had in my mind, player. Good looking out. Good looking out. I think I'm gonna do 3. No, I'm doing 3. I don't care how long it takes. A 3 minute mile for me will probably be about 25, 30 minutes to be real with you. Because I don't go too fast. I do intervals. I'll start out at like a 6 mile per hour pace. That puts me at about a 9 minute mile. And then I'll drop down to about 3.5 mile an hour for about a minute or two. And then I'll knock it back up to 7.2 miles per hour. And then I'll knock it back down. So every time I go up, I increase my speed. That's just how I do it. I just increase my speed. Um, Apologies if I'm coming off I'm in my bag. Like I just feel good today. Last night, I'm gonna tell y'all what happened. Let me go ahead and take this potion real quick. Ah, what up, 504 top level? Let's go, big dog. Good to see you this morning. Um, Man, last night my little girl was coughing. I had a little bit of the sniffles myself, and I said, you know what, man, it's time to do what I do. If y'all new here, if you ain't never seen me before, I'm very, very much preoccupied and enamored with the idea of changing our personal psychologies and our personal self-image through meditation, contemplation, and action. So not only that, but I'm big on studying like how our mental states can affect the world and the environment matter around us. And I've had several instances where I've meditated for material things. I've meditated for health, and this is what I did last night. So whenever the temperature changes here in Tennessee, Tennessee is a dust bowl, man. We get all types of mess, and our air quality ain't the greatest, right? I mean, as bad as New York, but it ain't as good as Florida on the coast. You feel what I'm saying? So anyway, my daughter, whenever this happens, she gets allergies or whatever. We all tend to get allergies and get a little bit of a sniffle, a little bit of a cough, a little tickle in the throat, little action. So, um, what I did was I separated myself from them. She was in her bedroom. Wife was asleep, so I went to the living room and I put on I think it was an alpha tone. Um, Honestly, I don't even remember what the tone was because I went so deep into meditation that when I came out of the meditation, I was energized. It was like, and I looked at my timer and it was 23 minutes of meditation. And usually when I'm meditating for healing or health or something like that, I don't put a time limit on it. I just meditate until I can get to the state to where I physically feel like it's already done. Like I'm happy, I'm excited with the result. And the minute that I get there, I elevate it, I elevate it, I elevate that feeling. I magnify it as much as I can, and then I cut it off, right? So that when I open my eyes, the effect is that when I'm now viewing and experiencing my external reality through my senses, my five senses, I still feel as though what I meditated on is true. And I still do. So my up until that point, man, I'm gonna tell you how crazy this stuff is. And listen, I've done it multiple times. So be anecdotal. We're beyond anecdotal. Every time I do it and I do it correctly, it happens. She was coughing like crazy up until that point. Like for real. After I did that meditation, not one cough the entire night. This morning, she was not coughing this morning. I got a report that she sounded stuffy, but the coughing and choking done. I talked to her before I got on this live. She sounded great. She was not coughing. She was not choking. And I'm just gonna leave it at that, man. This meditation stuff is powerful. This mentality, mind shift, identity shift stuff is powerful, man. It's powerful. Um, Really, it just boils down to belief. Everything in this world comes from thought. Everything. Everything. The only things that we can say potentially aren't, man, it's a fact. I'm telling y'all, if you ain't with this meditation stuff and you're not meditating, you're gonna get left behind. Especially with these stressful times we've been through. Bro, I ain't even noticed the pandemic. I ain't even noticed the pandemic. I went through, man, I've started writing notes about there's a book I want to write called The Present Future. And what I've learned is there's peace in the present moment. Like 90%, this is not a strong statistic. This is just what I feel. 90% of our issues in life as it relates to what we believe about ourselves and our environment, stress and anxiety, depression, like I've had those things. So anxiety for me was a focus. Where can I start learning to meditate? Right here and right now. You want to need to get to the point to where meditation is just, you know what? That's not a fair answer to your question. You asked, where can I start to learn? And sometimes it's easy to answer from your perspective and say that it's easy, but I know it's not easy starting out. So where I will begin is I will go to a trusted source like Siham Faye. I got you. I got you on procrastination, bruh, or ma'am. Just let me answer this last question. I will go to Dr. Joe Dispenza. Learn what physiologically is happening in your body. We have a parasympathetic and a sympathetic nervous system. Our sympathetic nervous system responds to external stimulus that happens. So when you get startled or scared, your heartbeat will increase and increase blood flow. Your blood vessels will dilate, which means they'll open up, so you have more blood, more nutrients to go to your extremities, so that you can run and you can get out of that bad boy. Right? That's a sympathetic um, occurrence within your body. Now, parasympathetic is something that happens without your regulation, without an external stimulus. So, returning the body to homeostasis, um, uh, having to use the bathroom, like stuff like that. That's stuff that just happens on its own. There's nothing that prompts it. A regulated heartbeat, liver function, digestion, things like that. So, I will go to Joe Dispenza and learn about the physiological occurrences that happen in your body, and also the esoteric and chemical occurrences that happen in your body when you engage in meditation. Dr. Joe Dispenza. That's where I would start. I would first start to learn about what happens when you meditate, the science behind it, so you can understand the systems that are being activated and things that are happening. So, to the next question, that's talking about procrastination. Listen, yo, I'm gonna tell you right now, I've dealt with procrastination, and sometimes in other things, it's real work to push past procrastination, but I've developed tools myself through observation, trial and error that have worked for me. So the reason why I wanted to make this book called The Present Future is, so matters of procrastination, I believe, are twofold. I believe procrastination is a direct reflection of self-esteem, uh, your self-image. If you are set with a task that you want to do, don't want to do, or need to do, and you choose not to do it, if you really search your thoughts and you search your feelings and what you believe about yourself, you'll see that you feel like you're not equipped to do it properly, you're not equipped to do it well enough, or that you're going to mess up. Or adversely, you might feel as though you might have a fear of being successful because you've been taught, you've got this preset, this belief that says that if you're successful, you have to lose something, or that people will view you a certain way. The other side of procrastination is not just self-esteem, but a preoccupation. It kind of goes hand in hand, but it's a preoccupation with what the end result may or may not look like. You see, the reason why any behavior, any action, anything that we need to do or want to do, the reason why we don't act on it is because we have a preoccupation with what we believe will happen as a result of doing it. So, and typically that's a negative assumption. So I'll tell you, like for me, right? Um, Cleaning my room when I was younger, and even sometimes cleaning my car. I know I need to do it, and I'll say, "Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow." Yes, I've started writing notes and things like that, but I have not like formed it all the way out. I probably should just focus on doing that present future. I feel like that would help a lot of people out. So technically, yes, I have, but anyway, so like cleaning your car. So this all hinges on having a greater sense of awareness. You have a greater sense of awareness, meaning you can listen and disseminate those inner thoughts, those things that you say to yourself when you want to do something or when you want to have something or whatever. What you're saying to yourself ultimately determines what you believe, and what you believe determines what actions you do or do not take. Preoccupation with the end result. Oh, you're attacking me. It's funny because I'm attacking myself. I'm attacking myself. So something as simple as cleaning my car or cleaning my room. I would literally be like, just don't want to. I don't want to do it. I know I need to do it, but you start playing this imagination game, and it's all imagination and negativity. So I'll say, if I clean my car, if I start cleaning my car, that's going to take away from time it'll take me spend with my family. And then if I can't spend time with my family, then that means X, Y, and Z. And if I do this to my car, then I'm gonna have to get all this stuff, and then I'm gonna find mail that I forgot, and then I'm gonna have to deal with that, or I'm gonna have to wash clothes because I work out a lot, and I have to have a separate. Like you start talking all this nonsense, all this nonsense, when literally all you need to do is commit to the smallest action towards what it is you need to do or want to do without a preoccupation on the end result. Not even looking at it thinking, oh, my car's going to be super clean. The point of the matter is, you know, you need to clean it. You know, it's dirty. You know, you need to do it. You know, it's gone undone. So, if you know that that's the case, innately, if you search yourself, you'll understand the reason why it needs to be done. Okay. And if you want to, you can put a positive spin on it. Well, if I clean my car, I'll feel better about my environment. It'll cause me to be more productive. Da, da, da. You can do that if you want to. But my thing is, don't put a judgment on it. Just do it. Like Nike says, just do it. And when you do it, just commit to the smallest thing. Just say, hey, you have to trick your brain. This is what I had to do. I would say, hey, I'm not going to clean my whole car, but I'm at least going to get my uh, work shirts out of here. All right. That's all I'm going to do is I'm going to get my work shirts together and get them out of here. What you will find is by the time you get all your work shirts out of there, you look at the clock and realize 2 or 3 minutes passed. And then you'll be like, God, oh, that did not take that long. Okay, I guess I can get trash out. So then you'll start getting trash out. Before you know it, 10 or 15 minutes out of your day that you good and damn well know would have been spent on the toilet looking at people's Facebook feeds have now been allotted to done, getting what you need to get done. And the more you start to adopt this type of mind state, this mentality, the more it will become a part of you, and you'll have something that I like to call unconscious action. You see, we need to develop unconscious action, but the only reason you need to develop unconscious action is because you're too conscious of an end result. So right now, your only purpose needs to be to act. You don't need to think. When you know something needs to be done, you don't need to think because you will think yourself out of it. I hope that helped. And I could talk deep about this because I have been this person. I'm telling y'all, even when it comes to dishes, like I did it last night, I did not want to do the dishes, but I was too preoccupied with the end result being something that would negatively impact me instead of just doing it. Knowing that it would help my wife, knowing it would help my family, knowing all these things, I instead was preoccupied with the negative end result. So, with procrastination, there's so many different ways you can look at it. This is one of these are a few of the ways that I look at it to help me just pull myself out of that lie or whatever lie that I tell myself when it comes to getting something done. It took me forever to file for an LLC until I stopped thinking and I got my LLC. And it was funny because a lot of you may or may not know my father passed 3 years or so ago. 4 years, yeah, it was almost 4 years ago. Uh, and then when they filed it, I couldn't have planned it. Really helpful. 100%. I'm glad. You got this. When I filed it, I sent it in November, but they were backed up. So the date that my actual LLC that will get filed by the state was in limbo. I didn't know what day it would happen. Well, when I got it back, it was on my father's birthday. When I got it back, the date it was filed was on my father's birthday, and I was like, man, that's big. That's big right there, man. You're looking out for me. So don't be preoccupied with the end result, whether good or bad. You need to just be action oriented. Everything around you is in motion. Uh, hold on, my earbud just died on me. Um, yeah, that's what I said. I was like, yo, that's crazy. Blew my mind. Um, and my father was an entrepreneur, right? So my father had He had a business in the 90s making like 18K a month. He had several accounts doing what he was doing. So I've always had this split of seeing what it looks like to own your own and then also working for somebody. 'Cause my mother has always worked for somebody. And it's always easy to get not what's the word, to get tempted by that idea or the propensity to work for somebody because it seems safe. But when it comes to working or owning a business, everybody's taking a gamble, everybody's taking a risk. When will you launch your book? um I don't know. Right now I'm just taking small little action steps to getting it out there. I'm trying to rebuild my channel. I'm actually thinking about starting a new channel just because I feel like the message here isn't 100% for a lot of the people that were on this journey with me, because I was talking more about health and fitness. But as we move into this age of business and performance life mastery, I'm realizing that I may need to just start a completely new channel. As much as I didn't want to do that, and I could just leave this channel for fitness and recipes and stuff like that, stuff that people want to see. But I really enjoy just popping in and sharing these little insights with folks in a real way. I like doing them live because I always say, man, when a video is on and you're recording a video, it's easy to look like you know what you're talking about. But when I do these lives, there ain't no hiding. I can only rely. You see me actively talking. I can only rely on the information that I have consumed, and I'm speaking from my heart when I'm doing this. A lot of people don't know, like I struggle with a lot of this stuff. I struggle with mentality. I struggle with poor self-image as it related to what I felt I was worthy of in life. And those things don't make you a weak person. I used to think that make you a weak person, so I didn't talk about it. What makes you a strong person is talking about it and planning to overcome it. Talking about your weaknesses and knowing that somewhere inside you, there's something greater than your circumstances, greater than your perspective that's going to elevate you. I know, like, I already know that my destiny's set. I know what I want in life and what I'm going to have in life is coming. It's already on the way. Almost like a lecture. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't see myself as a professor or nothing. You know what I mean? But I feel like I could hold my own in a TED talk. I feel like I could hold a TED talk. I'm the type of dude to go. I go rent a hotel and make it look like my own TED talk. Start my own. Have these talks about, man. It's a beautiful life, dude. I'm gonna tell y'all, man. Hmm, when I think about where I was, I've got video. Let me tell y'all how much I knew I was gonna come out of this because I spent so much time learning about these things who have wronged me. Ooh, that's a good one. How do I forgive people who have wronged me? Let me search deep on this one because for me, that has been a tough one because I can hold a grudge. I'm say, will you help that may be going through similar stuff? Oh, that's true. Miss Demeter Joe, always in the building. I'm happy to see you. I was actually, it's gonna sound weird, but understand. I think a lot. I was actually thinking about you in my shower. I was thinking about you, M's, and T Beauty when I was taking the shower. Of course, I had all my clothes on, so keep it PG. I only said I think by saying that I was trying to make it not weird, but by saying that I made it weird. You know what I mean? But no, I was just thinking about the people who like I had just looked at my page and saw the views on some of my past videos, more recent videos, and I was noticing that my views are slowly increasing, but my subscribers were decreasing. I was just like, man, that's interesting. It's almost like the message is weeding out the people that it's not for. And I thought, man, but these people who have consistently like, and it's not that if you're not here that you don't care about the message. You just might not be with this new direction, right? I made it weird, I know. But I started thinking about the people that's been rocking with me since day one, even when I switched it up. And it was Miss Demeter Joe, it's M's, it's T Beauty, it's brand new living. It's It's Anthony Lawars. I see y'all. Y'all think I don't see y'all? I see y'all. Um, and there's a couple others I feel like I'm missing, but yo, when it's on and popping and we get there, it's the energy. Yeah, man. I connect with y'all in a real way. So when it's on and popping and this channel or the new channel is where it needs to be, everything's running smoothly because I know where I'm going. I'm not forgetting y'all. I'm not forgetting the people that stuck by. That might be a free book. That might be a free T-shirt because I got my own T-shirts coming out with my sayings and the things like my own affirmations. Uh, that might be a free T-shirt. Not to say I'm going into the T-shirt business, but I'm just saying like I'm not gonna forget y'all because y'all been sticking around. I'm like, hey, this is the tribe right here. I even been flirting with man, I've been doing a lot. So with this business, I'm a part of a group that helps incubate businesses and teach people how to start businesses and products and stuff. And I've been flirting with formulating a coffee alternative because I get tired of so much caffeine in the diet. I'm not really a huge coffee person, but I want a coffee nootropic, something that can give you sustained energy, but also put you in that alpha state, which is that controlled energetic state, right? So that you can kind of capitalize on some of the things you want instead of relying on the cortisol inducing coffee. You know, when you consume um, coffee, you activate your adrenals to pull that energy. It's not a natural energy by way of like ATP from cellular function. It's a hijacking of your flight or fight response. So anyway, let me go back to how do I forgive people that have wronged me? That's a good one. For me personally, I don't let anything. It's gonna be tough, but I don't. How I don't take things personally is through building awareness, and in building that awareness, it allows me to not. It allows me to look at situations and give them or assign them a meaning that benefits me. Okay, so you can take a let's talk about a wrongdoing. Now, let me just be real with you. Up until there's only one point that I feel like I would not be able to accept something someone did towards me, right? And that's taking the life of a loved one. That's one thing for me that I don't know that I'm strong enough to push through. Thank God I haven't had to deal with that, and thank God that I won't have to. But if you want advice on that one, let me keep it 100, 100 with you. I don't know that I can give you that. So if somebody killed somebody, then hey, I'm not your guy. All right. But if it comes to matters of someone stole money from you, or if it's a matter of someone spoke ill on your name, I've lost friends. I've lost friends that I've been friends with for years, like on the past 1 or 2 years. I lost just from one conversation, a differing of opinion or a differing of perspective. I've lost friends. And some of these friends have said hurtful things in the past that I just let roll off my back. It's like, hey, I ain't gonna judge you for it. You were in a certain emotional state. It is what it is. So for me, how I forgive people, I try to cut it off before I even need to forgive folks. When something happens, like when I had an incident at work where a chief uh, decided to call me out in front of a bunch of people. In the moment, I was really, really, really like like heated. Like I felt like I could rip the roof off the building and just put it on top of everybody there. But the more I thought about it, the more I looked at it from a different perspective and I said, you know what? Even though he took it out on me, maybe his boss is going through something, which puts undue pressure on him. And I just so happen to be in the line of fire of his releasing of his frustration, right? And when I put it in that perspective, it helps me humanize the situation and realize that just because somebody whenever I am overly offended over being done wrong in some way or another, to me that communicates like it communicates that I'm perfect and I know I'm not perfect. Like how could you do me wrong? I'm going to be mad at you because you did something wrong to me. all the while not looking at the times I may have inadvertently and accidentally wronged somebody else, unbeknownst to me. So for me, I keep my level of awareness at a point to where I can always look at a situation and assign a different meaning or a different belief to it that actually serves me. So you can give me a specific wrongdoing, but yeah. How do you forgive yourself? That was the other question. How do I forgive myself? This one was one that was really tough for me for a while because I had guilt about, surrounding my father's death, my grandfather's death, uh, my grandmother's death, things that happened in high school, things that happened in college. Guilt is an interesting thing, and even just forgiveness is an interesting thing. Like when you have guilt, it goes back to what we talked about earlier. It's a preoccupation with the past. Anytime you are in a state of needing to forgive someone or yourself, you are preoccupied with your past instead of acknowledging the present and working towards a better future. Uh, how many pastors are there that used to be ex-convicts that are actually doing real good things in their community and paying it forward and changing their lives? If they were preoccupied with their past consistently, then they would identify with their past and they would be in a perpetual state of guilt. They would never move forward and do some of the great things for their communities that they're now doing. So, being preoccupied with guilt and feeling a constant need to forgive yourself is holding you back. So, the one main way that I forgive myself is I look at it for what it is. I understand that anything that I've done or anything that has happened to me was a past occurrence, something that I cannot change. The only thing that I can do is observe the present and change my future, right? So I try to look at everything from a moment to moment situation. And then the moment where I'm feeling guilt, I understand that, like I said, it's me being preoccupied with the past and identifying with my past. And instead, I'm appreciative for the present moment and the opportunity each second to change the person that I was moving forward. Each second. So that's how I forgive myself. It might be a long-winded way to answer, but for me, that's how I do it. You can't change anything that happened in the past. There's absolutely no way to change what happened in the past. No way. So I hope that helped. I hope that you can that was easily understood. You know, I don't have the answer to everything, and if I don't, I straight up tell you, boy, I look like what's that what's some ball? I like a Boston Terrier. Y'all ever seen a Boston Terrier? Without my glasses, I like a Boston Terrier. Boy, hey, get out of click out of this live and go search what a Boston Terrier looks like and tell me if I didn't look like that just now. Boy, that's funny, man. I haven't been in a good roast session in a while, so that's why I gotta roast myself. Uh, yeah, y'all know them Boston Terriers with them long. They usually are white. They got them long faces and them beady, spaced out eyes, big snout. That's what I look like without my beard. But yeah, I answered some questions, man. I think if that's it, I'm just gonna vibe into this workout, man. I'm about to take my pre-workout. If there's a video y'all want to see today, let me know. Um, is it the one looking like some Nikes or the sneaker or other sneaker? Looking like some Nikes. I don't know if I follow. I'm sorry. Looking like some Nikes. That's a good question. I don't know. I apologize. I don't know what you're saying, player. Uh, okay. I'm trying to look it up on my other phone, Boston Terrier, but I don't have an internet connection on this one. Man, hold on. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here, Mr. Meter Joe. Be on the lookout for videos coming up. I'm pretty sure I'm going to announce a new the dog race. Oh yeah, yeah. No, I think it. Man, I don't know. I don't know if I know the reference. I'm going to do another channel. How do you guys deal with trauma and the effed up shit you see on the job as a firefighter? Woo, that's a good question. That's a good question. So y'all have a nice day. That's a good question. So, um, what a lot of guys do on the fire department, what a lot of guys do is they joke about what they see and things that happen. Uh, it's really politically incorrect, but when you think about it, it's thought switching. So it's transmutation, quite literally. A situation that's dark. Uh, the only time I haven't seen the only time I haven't seen someone joke about something that happened was when we did CPR. I had to do CPR on a well, it wasn't just me. I did the breaths, and somebody else did the compressions, and then somebody else did the intraosseous IV. Nobody's joked about that, giving CPR to a 2-month-old. That was a situation where we were just so tied in. And I personally don't engage in joking about people's misfortune simply because that's just not me. I don't judge anybody. I mean, I've laughed at some things people have said unknowingly, realizing that they were talking about somebody else's misfortune. Sometimes these guys are witty, but they engage in a form of transmutation. I don't think they even know they're doing it. So for me, I just conceptualize it as this: I'm a responder. I'm a first responder. When you respond to something, typically the event occurred without your input, without you causing it, right? Typically, it was outside of you. You're responding to something. So anytime I go on the scene, I never internalize things to the point to where I feel guilty or I take responsibility um, for the person's misfortune or what they're going through. Um, I take it as I have been given the privilege to do my best to help this person in their time of emergency, and I don't have time to internalize the trauma in that way. Now, beyond that, what would you recommend if you start in the spiritual journey? Ooh, I like that. So, yeah, for me, that's how I do it. Um, and it might not be the same way everybody else does it, but that's how I do it. That's how I navigate it, and it works for me. But then outside of that, I meditate. I increase my consciousness and expand my awareness, um, so that when I'm in those situations, I can understand what they are, my role in it, and I can be more effective whenever these things happen. So, and there's support groups. They talk it out, after major events, hostage situations, shootouts, stuff like that. There's people that come by and they talk to everybody, and there's usually a debrief, making sure everybody's okay. But yeah, I was worried about that for a while, but as I've increased my spiritual journey and I've increased my awareness and consciousness and understanding the world around me, it doesn't affect me quite the way it may affect other people. Um, it's almost like I have an area in my mind where I can put it away and then it evaporates. What one book would you recommend for people starting the spiritual journey? The one, I'm glad you said this, the one book that I would recommend is a book that is called Recreating Your Life with the Decision Maker Process by Morty Lefko. Hands down, hands down, the one book I would start with. Beyond that, I would then go into Joe Dispenza's works, um, because it gives you tools to expand your awareness and consciousness. But Morty Lefko, I did a video about the best self help guru you've never heard of on my channel. And I briefly touch on who he is, what he's known for, and the book that he has written. And I just bought this book for somebody yesterday. I just bought it for him because I was like, listen, this book has made the concept of being a spiritual being on a physical journey more real than any spiritual text that I've read. Um, it's made it to where consciously on a day by day basis, I can see people for what they are. I can see reality for what it is. It's a game changer. Go get the book. I wish I was in my office. I would have it. If I could, I would buy like 1,000 of them and hand them out. That's how much I enjoy this book and how much that book has blessed me in my life. He's no longer with us. He has since passed, but the information is relevant today. It's relevant today. That's where I would start. Um, you can start with the Bible, but see, the Bible is so multifaceted. Here's the problem with the Bible. The Bible is a genius text because it can be interpreted so many different ways. And I believe that's how it was designed. But there's a way that people fail to observe it, and that's esoterically. Like the Bible even has a lot of the Bible is a allegory for human physiology. Like I got a book that explains, man, it's so damn deep, man. It's so damn deep. I got a book that explains the process by what it means to be the Christ. You see, in our spines, we have something called cerebrospinal fluid, and that cerebrospinal fluid flows upward, can flow upward from our sacral area up all the way to our cranial area. And this fluid is used to lubricate um, the areas of the brain, and it's also used to deliver certain nutrients and things like that to areas of the brain. I used to study it pretty deep and I knew it pretty intimately, but I'm going to stop myself right now because I've stopped studying that so much. But the point of the matter is, um, there's an oil that comes from cerebrospinal fluid that lubricates um, areas of the brain that are responsible for spiritual connection. Like this is in your body right now. And the way that you get there is through practicing abundant thoughts, not harming your neighbor, pretty much the Ten Commandments. But you try to live a life, a righteous life, and a life without stress and peace. And you become enlightened. And that's why they called Jesus Christ, because this oil was called chrism, Christ oil, chrism. It's a oil that lubricates these organs that like, man, it's so freaking deep. I'm about to just stop. See, y'all know what I can only touch on this because it's so deep that I stopped learning about it. I was like, listen, this will take a lifetime for me to fully understand. So let me stop. But learn about the Christ oil. Learn about that. And y'all come back and tell me what y'all think about that. Even the thorns on his head signify something. When he's depicted with the thorns on his head, that signifies something. It's deep, man. It's deep. We live in a deep world. We live in a deep world. This world is big. Um, but yeah, to answer your question about the book, that's my answer. So, trying to motivate myself to get in here and do this. First, I didn't really want to go in here, and there's a part of me that still kind of doesn't. But you know what that means? That means that I'm rooted in a preoccupation of how I'm gonna feel when I go in here. Why am I preoccupied? I need to take it moment by moment. All I need to do is get out the car and walk towards the front. That's it. That's my only obligation. Why? Because innately, I know that this is going to benefit me. It's going to get me closer to my goals. It's going to get me closer to who it is that I'm building, who I want to be, and where I want to be in life. So why would I even meet it with that resistance? Why would I be preoccupied with what might happen or how I might feel? I need to explore the action to get me where I know I need to go and see how I feel. Change how I feel. All right, y'all. I've been talking for 45 minutes. Really good conversation. I appreciate y'all for participating. I appreciate y'all for viewing. There's no more questions. Well, then I guess there's no more answers. So by the time I finish this, if that's it, then that's it. Let me know if there's a video y'all want to see today. Absolutely welcome, Marcia or Marcia. Hey, I saw your comment yesterday. Good looking out. Appreciate you. You already comment that you want to hear more about meditation experiences. You want to hear more about hold on. Can't remember what else. But I saw your comment. Appreciate you. You was in here lurking the whole time. And I didn't even know it. Didn't even know it. Oh, I feel like I guess I need to get a little bit more serious about this book. Because a lot of y'all for years have been talking about, hey man, if you wrote a book about some of this stuff, I would read it. And my goal is I'll I need to not be preoccupied, but I do like obviously you want to be compensated for your money, but I want to create a resource where it's free. And then if you want to go deeper, hey, working from home, let's go. Um, man, real quick, I found out about a work from home opportunity that pays 50,000 a year plus a 20,000 on target bonus. So you can get about 70,000 plus perks, and you work from home, and you get benefits, and you get discount on luxury stays and short term rentals, bro. Got me thinking about signing up, man. You're basically a intermediary for luxury rentals for elite client rich people, man. You get paid 70,000. 70,000 to do this. What am I doing? Why am I a firefighter? I could be a YouTuber and work for this company and actually help people. I love what I do. But I would like to do like the solution stuff full time, man. Because I've spent so when I tell y'all I've spent so you know what? Listen, I'm gonna show y'all something. Show y'all how much time I've spent on changing my mentality. Oh man, it's not in here. Oh wait, I got one. Check this out. I stay with books, right? This is a really good book. Um, this talks about the foods that we eat and how they affect us. It talks about the technology that was out there by Royal Raymond Rife. I need to find the chapter. I think the next. I think the next. Oh! Hold on. Okay, no, I thought this was him. This book goes into detail. Oh, here it is. All right, are y'all ready? I'm gonna read this for y'all. Check this out. Uh, yo, this is deep, man. Um, I'm going to read these 2 pages. Y'all stick with me. This is about Royal Raymond Rife, who understood the power of frequency as it related to health. I'm going to read this. Another gifted man is attacked. Excuse me. Royal Raymond Rife should be considered the master of microtechnology. He is responsible for today's electroradiochemistry, biochemistry, microbiology, even ballistics and aviation. Some of his inventions include the heterodyning ultraviolet microscope, a microdissector, and a micromanipulator. Royal Raymond Rife was a student at Johns Hopkins. He received 14 major awards and was honored with an honorary doctorate from the University of Heidelberg. He was most notable for manufacturing roller bearings, but what he was really famous for was the Rife scope. Rife's microscope contained approximately 5,682 pieces and could magnify microscopic objects 61,000 times their normal size, making it easy to examine living blood tissue and identify cellular diseases. It was a 2 foot tall microscope and weighed approximately 200 pounds. He became the first in modern science to actually see a live virus, and until recently, the Rife scope was the only microscope that could do this. So, why hasn't any medical student or physician heard of Dr. Royal Raymond Rife? The same reason they have never heard of Antoine Bechamp, Harry Hoxsey, or Max Gerson, which Gerson was responsible for Gerson therapy, which healed a lot of ailments through organic foods and pretty much Dr. Sebi before Dr. Sebi was a thing. Well, it's about control and profits. In order for unnatural and expensive medicine to succeed, natural economical medicine has to fail. Rife could actually see various microorganisms or particles in blood, which are able to change form or shape and are therefore pleomorphic. Rife was also able to use ultraviolet light to illuminate these forms or changes in cell formation. He was also able to produce frequency waves to match the frequency at which a microorganism vibrates. The science by Rife induced resonance and subsequently eradicated the targeted organism by frequency in the same way that a sound vibration can shatter a crystal glass. So let's stop. So, what is resonance? Resonance is when a vibration or oscillation finds its match, right? That's a really, really, really simple way of explaining it. There's a there's like waveforms and everything that talk about accuracy, amplitude, and amplitude is just a measure of how much or how little something vibrates, and you can see it denoted by the amount of peaks and spacing between waveforms. Anyway, the famous Royal Rife used these innovative scholarly techniques to treat degenerative disease ranging from pneumonia and cancer. We're almost done here, okay? But just check this out. Rife's expertise in scientific breakthrough was first introduced to the public in 1929 by the San Diego Union newspaper. As early as 1920, Rife had identified a virus that he believed caused cancer. It was named the BX virus. After 20,000 unsuccessful attempts to transform normal cells into tumor cells, Rife decided to irradiate viruses, catch them in a porcelain filter, and inject them into lab animals. 400 consecutive tumors were created from this procedure. Hang with me. He began subjecting the viruses to different radio frequencies to see if it was affected by them. It was found that all viruses had responded to the frequencies. Rife discovered a frequency he called mortal oscillatory rate, or MOR, that could destroy targeted viruses by the wavelength of the frequency 770 hertz or 880 hertz. Now, understand what are hertz, okay? Hertz are the measurement factors of frequency. So, basically, they measure the amount of vibrations or oscillation within a specific time interval. That is called hertz. So I believe they're within 1 second intervals. So if 770 hertz, don't quote me, let me double check. But if 770 hertz is the frequency they're talking about, They're meaning that there are 770 oscillations, vibrations, back and forth within a 1 second time period. So we're talking relatively high frequencies. This frequency could destroy targeted viruses without harming the surrounding normal tissue. It was discovered that everything has its own frequency. In fact, there are literally hundreds of trillions of different resonant frequencies. From this scientific discovery, Dr. Rife successfully eradicated cancer in 400 animal experiments prior to experimentation on human subjects. Rife discovered frequencies which specifically destroy herpes, polio, spinal meningitis, tetanitis, influenza, and an immense number of other degenerative disease organisms. All right, we're about to get to the end here. On November 20th, 1931, Dr. Royal Rife was honored by 44 of the nation's most respected medical authorities with a banquet bill as the end to all diseases at the Pasadena estate of Milbank Johnson. Okay, last paragraph. All right. In 1934, the University of South California appointed a medical research committee to transfer from Pasadena Hospital to Rife San Diego laboratory and clinic for treatment. Within 90 days of treatment, if the terminally ill patients were still alive, then the doctors and pathologists would examine the patients. Amazingly, after the 90 days of the Rife treatment, the committee concluded that 86.5% of the patients had been completely cured. The treatment was then modified, and the remaining 13.5% of the terminally ill patients also responded within the next 4 weeks. The Rife technology recovery rate turned out to be 100%. In 1937, the Beam Ray Corporation manufactured 14 of the Rife's frequency instruments. All right, now I'm not going to get too deep into it. Research Royal Raymond Rife. The next paragraph talks about why and how they basically demonized Dr. Royal Raymond Rife and took all of his findings out of circulation, out of the mass consciousness, and subdued him. Called him a quack scientist, said this is quackery. Who else have we heard that is influential in time that said you need to understand the importance of frequencies? You understand the universe. Nikola Tesla. And that's all I'm going to get at. Man, it's deep, man. It's deep. It's deep. It's deep. But anyway, y'all know I'm a walking. I don't know a whole lot. All right. I know a whole lot of stuff, but I don't know a whole lot. But I know that that man was respected at one point, and when people started realizing he could eradicate diseases, they smeared his name. But listen, before I get off here, I want to show y'all I have been working on myself and trying to understand and have tools to overcome the conditioning that we have in this world. The first time I started journaling, I actually believe it was before this, but this book right here, this journal was in 2016. 2016. And look, I was journaling pretty much every day. Look at this. I may keep it up. I may keep it up for a little bit. But check this out. Business ideas, plans, frustrations. I mean, this is we're almost, yeah, we're into a new year now. Look at this. Tuesday, January 3rd, 2017. Characteristics of self-disciplined achievers. 1, we have strong, well-defined purpose. 2, we seek out positive role models for inspire. This is all, y'all. So when I get on here, I'm not just talking. I ain't just talking BS. I've been doing this for years. 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 I think y'all get that. But here's the thing. The internet is a one-stop shop. What you see is what you get. And people think that when you turn on a camera and you start talking, you don't really know what you're talking about, or you haven't really done the work. This is just a fraction of the work, y'all. I got like two or three other journals that are pretty much filled up. So I've got, and I even went through and numbered every page. Like I've got well over like 500, 600 pages of notes and reflections and wisdom. Okay. So if you're looking at this live, I don't feel like I need to prove anything to anybody. I'm not doing this. It's because I know the internet is a place where people can get on and be anybody at a moment's notice. You know what I mean? Like you can get on. Like, look, let me tell y'all why it is I'm gonna hop off. All right. I know how to be a millionaire. I could be a millionaire within the next year. I plan to be a millionaire within the next before I'm 33. All right. We'll talk about that later. But if I want to be a millionaire a long time ago, I know the avenue to get there. What do I mean by that, right? One of the avenues that I could utilize is if I was this person, because I've seen people do it. I could get online and I could pose like I was a guru in something that is a hot topic. I focus on crypto a lot. I could get on here and make a killing teaching people crypto. All right. I've failed at business before. I can get on here and make a killing at teaching people how to set up a business and how to go about business. I can make a killing teaching people how to play basketball. I can make a killing being a uh, sending people recipes and workouts because I've cracked the code on that. I can make a killing on posing as a guru that uh shit. What else? I mean, literally, you get what I'm saying. That's not what drives me. That's not what's my passion. My passion has always been cracking the code to be a master of my life. Once I'm a master of my mind, master of my life, that means once we're at that point, our potential, when we recognize our true potential and we embody and understand the truth of being limitless, oh, then we can do damage. Then we can do damage. We can have a real impact on this world. We can have a real impact on our world. I don't want to be known for some of those things. I don't want to get on here and talk about some of those things. What I want to get on and talk about is what it takes, what I've learned, what I do on a consistent basis to always shed the old me and grow into the new ultimate me. This is my journey to being a Saiyan. You know what I mean? You're witnessing Goku on his way to being a Saiyan for the first time. This is just one notebook. One. I've got like three or four. Like, I got so many notes on my life and on things that I could I could honestly make a book from my journals. Hmm. Damn, I could make a book from my journals. It'd be like a 500 or 600 page book, bro. I actually need to get back to journaling more. I only journal like I used to journal every day for years, but I stopped. That was another tool that I used to build awareness. And I recorded dreams and all that type of stuff, man. But anyway, listen. If you want me to keep this up, I'll keep it up. It is a longer one. I'll probably keep it up just for a little bit. But the fact that I talked about viruses and I even said the word, the algorithm's gonna comb through it and probably destroy it. So I'm gonna try to shoot a video. I might actually go in deep on Dr. Royal Raymond Rife and make a standalone video about him. Um, because it's true, him and Nikola Tesla understood that everything has a resonant frequency. And if you can match that frequency, the only thing that I don't understand about matching the frequency, so if everything has a resonant frequency, if there's a virus that has a resonant frequency and you can match that resonant frequency, how would it not amplify the effects of that organism or that life form or that virus? You know what I mean? Because you're giving it more of what it vibrates at. So if a virus vibrates at 770 hertz, which is 770 cycles per second, and you put 770 hertz, you subject it to 770 hertz, how would that not amplify its effects? By what mechanism does it get destroyed? You know, that's the interesting part to me. But I'm not Dr. Royal Raymond Rife, so I need to research more about resonance and resonant frequencies. All right, I'm gonna park this car in a different area. The pre-workout is just set in, and I'm feeling really good. I really could just talk to y'all all day. You know what I'm saying? If I could do a live stream of my life, I would. If I could, I would. But I don't. I can't park there. Um, if I could, I would. But man, I really do appreciate y'all. Uh, Thank y'all for the couple that have stuck around for the Sumaru recommendation. Oh, facts. I got your back on that. Yeah, of course. I just got a testimony from somebody the other day that said that they were sick after buying the Sumaru and they had the thought, hey, maybe I should take this stuff. And they took it and they said within 3 days they were straight. There's more out there than just Sumaru. Let me tell y'all. Listen, you're welcome, number one. Number two, this is why I wanted to formulate a coffee alternative. And I want to incorporate some lesser known herbs and mushrooms that elevate mood and increase uh, immunity or help assist immunity. I always suggest taking an herb on an empty stomach. Why is that? I suggest taking an herb on an empty stomach and potentially, if possible, uh, with a chewing motion because you want to activate the digestive enzymes to fully absorb and break down the herb so that you can utilize it. When you eat herbs or you consume herbs with other foods, you run the risk of blunting its effects. I mean, it's kind of like dilution, you know, like on somewhere after watching the video. Thank you for that. Fact. Everybody should be taking it. It's safe. I'm glad. You're welcome. Hey, listen, there's more on the way. We have many tools to fight many diseases. My ultimate protocol would be to fast and then consume sumaru. But if you can't do that, take it on empty stomach. That's like take it on empty stomach and chew, or take sea moss with it and chew, or some type of gummy multivitamin because you want to activate digestive enzymes to help you get the most out of the herb. Because a lot of people take herbs and like, the herbs don't work for me. I take ashwagandha and it is shit. I take ashwagandha and it did nothing. I just don't like ashwagandha. I don't like the sumaru. It just does nothing for me. And it's like, yo, first of all, is your gut full of biofilm? Is your gut full of just and poop and pus? Because if so, a multivitamin ain't helping your ass. You know what I mean? Like fiber ain't gonna help you at this point. You're backed up. Your body can't fully absorb it. You have too much biofilm. You have too much mucus. You have too much of those things in your system. So, um, and I'm willing to understand it. Some people look. Let me tell y'all, I'm real with it. My soul is always with me. Always with me. Would you recommend putting it in a smooth? Yes, I have a tincture. I would recommend putting it in a smoothie, but uh, if I had it my way, like in smoothies, the only way that I personally would recommend doing it in smoothies is for daily intake, like maintenance. If you're taking it to feel some of the effects, so the hormone regulating effects, the adaptogenic effects, uh, the immune boosting effects, I would take it in as pure of a form as possible, even if it's going to be nasty, in as pure a form as possible. So that means if you have a powder, maybe taking it straight in water or mixing it together in a water, or if you have a powder, putting it in a capsule form or something like that. Something that's not going to cause it to interfere too much, like the food to interfere too much with the effect of the herb. And a smoothie would be fine, just because it takes a lot less to digest a smoothie. Um, once it's almost like when you have a smoothie, it's almost like uh, eating pre-masticated food, right? So part of our digestive process is we eat food, saliva gets put into the mix, it activates different digestive enzymes that start in the mouth. When we chew, we help assist in what our stomach acid will do, which people think hydrochloric acid is like super corrosive. The hydrochloric acid in our stomachs, the reason why it doesn't burn our stomach is because we have a mucosal lining from these little, like, I don't want to call them organelles, but they're little like small microscopic tentacles that secrete a mucus consistently within our stomach that keeps it coated so that hydrochloric acid does not affect us, right? But it's really a diluted form of a potentially caustic chemical. There are forms of hydrochloric acid on the market that are extremely caustic, and if you put it on your skin, it will burn through, right? What we have in our stomach, that's not the case. Villi. I was gonna say villi. I really was gonna say villi, but I didn't want to lose people. I promise. I promise. I know the word, bro. I didn't even want to say it. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to lose nobody. And that's I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to lose nobody because I feel like sometimes I've been told that sometimes I talk and try to use the technical terms and stuff, and then I lose people. So I've been trying not to do that. But yes, they are villi, and they secrete a protective mucus to keep that. So what I'm getting at is once it goes down the esophagus, that food has been softened, it's been pre-digested, it's been loaded with salival enzymes and other enzymes that assist in the digestive process. And when it gets into our stomach, it doesn't just sit in our stomach; it sits in our stomach. That acid breaks it down to its amino acid profiles, proteins, all of the microbes that we need to help build muscle, regulate immune systems, help assist in healthy cellular function. That acid breaks it down chemically, but then you also have a mechanical breaking down because your stomach will engage in. Uh, it's very subtle. It's like kind of like a light pumping, and it'll work that food around, right? You don't even notice it. And then once it goes out of your stomach, it travels into your intestine, and your intestine engages in something called peristalsis. And peristalsis is a trigger for. It usually gets triggered by fiber, but peristalsis is a waving movement of your intestine to help move the food and nutrients out to your colon, and all the while you have a network of veins and golly, my earbuds are coming out. Veins and not arteries, but you have a circulatory system that is within your intestine, and they absorb the nutrients as peristalsis moves this food through your system and out. And by the time you poop, and you do this when you pee or you poop, you're excreting the excess or the stuff that the body couldn't utilize or didn't need, right? So if you've got a heavy mucosal layer within your intestine, um, from eating junk, eating chemical biofilm inducing foods, your absorption isn't going to be as great. So I say all that to say, when you take a smoothie, it's like skipping the mastication process, chewing, and most of the natural building blocks of proteins, amino acids, and things like that have already been broken down to a degree. So by the time it gets to your stomach has to do less work. And if it has to do less work, The uptake is a lot better. The only problem is that if you use too much ice, you can dilute the hydrochloric acid in your stomach. So I would advise to try to use as little ice as possible. This is all stuff that I've done for myself and my health. Looking at the science, being an EMT, having a very basic understanding of the human body. I had to learn this stuff to be able to help folks. So, um, yeah, man, I'm over explaining. Yes, you can put it in a smoothie. I love knowing how the body works, even if it's very basic, elementary level. Now, as far as chemicals go, I'm not that guy. God, I have the tincture too. I've been putting that and a shot of carrot juice in the. Yes, yep. I love the tincture. I've yet to really speak on the tincture portion because I always like to wait like a month of using something new before I talk about it. Uh, but yeah, I've been happy with the tincture. I get an instant like kind of jolt, and it may be because it's just so bitter that it just jolts your system a little bit. But all right, y'all, I gotta get in and get this workout in. I do love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Um, if you haven't already, get your sumaru. I keep it on me all the time. I take it first thing in the morning, just like you do, because the ancients believed that it was for everything. It helps with hormone regulation. It helps with stress regulation. It helps with immunity. It helps with sexual function. It helps increase strength. It helps increase vitality. It is for everything. They call it para todo, which means for all. All right, that's enough talking. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I may or may not keep this up. I might just keep it up for the time being, but until next time, be empowered because you are powerful. Peace.